Hi, welcome back. If you're using Evolution API with Chatwoot or any other CRM that connects to your WhatsApp via the API, not the official business API, but by the webhook API, using whether it's Evolution API or any other API really. But what we're going to do today is using Evolution API with Chatwoot. This is my instance of Chatwoot, and whenever I send a message, I cannot edit it. Alright, so right clicking on it, I cannot edit it. I can only delete messages. However, we can use a third-party tool like Evolution API, which is already needed for your Chatwoot, to edit your messages. Alright, you can see that I have already successfully edited my messages. This is the original message, testing 2, and you will see that the messages has been edited. So on your Chatwoot interface, you would see this chain of edited messages. However, on the actual phone of the user, they will only see the last edited messages, which is this. This is an edited message. Alright. Please bear in mind that you have a 15-minute window to edit your WhatsApp messages. This is a constraint placed by WhatsApp. And so if you have passed the 15 minutes, you no longer can edit the messages. Alright, let's get into it. First of all, we need n8n. We need n8n to be installed with the correct Evolution API nodes. To do that, we come into Settings, Community Nodes, and you would click on the top right hand corner, the Install button. You would see that I already have my n8n node installed, n8n Evolution API node installed. However, if you do not have that, you can, or you have to, install it by typing n8n-nodes-evolution-API. It must start with n8n. Alright, I will leave this text in the description below, so you can just copy it. Click on I understand the risks and click on install. Alright, I have an error message because it says that the package is already installed. To update it, click on the corresponding button. Alright, so there's no update. Let's get rid of this message and let's get back into the canvas for us to start. First, let's get the Evolution API node out. You would see that my Evolution API nodes are in English. However, for yours, it would default to Portuguese. That is because Evolution API is a Portuguese node, or Portuguese, it comes in Portuguese, sorry. And what you can do is use your web browser's translation tool and translate it into English. Alright, so originally it's going to be in Portuguese and translated into English will look like that. Alright, pretty nifty. So let's look for the first node that we need, which is to search for the messages from a phone number. Alright, so is this search for message from a contact, because you will need to list all the messages that are from the phone number that you want to edit. Alright, so let's click on this. Next, you have to connect the n8n node with your Evolution API. I have already done mine. If you have not, or more likely you wouldn't have done it, you would create a new credential. If your n8n is on the same host as your Evolution API, what you can do is to key in your local IP address, your server IP address. Mine would be 56:9060. Alright, and fill in the API key from your Docker environment. You would have an API key, paste it in, and allow all HTTP request domains. This is a security constraint. However, for testing purposes, it would allow us to verify that this node works before starting to tighten up security. Alright, click on Save. If your instance is connected successfully, it should show this green box with connection tested successfully. Alright, next, leave resource with chat, and the operation would be search messages. Alright, it will be in Portuguese, that's fine. For your instance name, you would have to go to your Evolution API Manager page, which will be the URL of your Evolution API /manager, as seen here. Alright, and it is this name that you see at the top over here. Alright, copy this name, the instance name, come back to your n8n node and paste it in here. Alright, for the contact, we are going to receive the contact number or the phone number via webhook, and so we will wait for the webhook to present the JSON. Of course, I know what I want and I am going to paste it in here. Alright, so I am going to send a JSON key named phone, which will contain the phone number, and I would only expect one page with 10 past messages that were sent to this phone number. Alright, if your credentials with Evolution API is working, what you can do is actually test it out by keying in your phone number in here and execute the step, and you should see the success response together with the last 10 messages. Alright, so for simplicity's sake or the ease of handling of data later, we're going to pin this, we're going to keep these messages because it's going to contain the last 10 messages. The most important key is, or info that we need, is the message ID, which is this. Alright, so let's copy this message ID and go ahead and try to edit the message now. Alright, so we're going to go for Evolution API and look for the edit text function. Edit message, sorry. So I'm going to key in my instance name and contact number, followed by the message ID that we have copied. And I am going to change the new message to this is the new edited message. Success, hooray! And execute the step. Success equals true. Let's go back to Chatwoot. And we have this. This is a new edited message. Success, hooray! Alright, so this is the gist of it. If you don't mind using a manual way of keying in and editing your message, you are good to go. However, if you would like some automation or a more intuitive way to do this, what you can do is we can package this into a web UI or a web page where we can get phone numbers, which would allow you to retrieve the last 10 messages from that phone number connected to your Evolution API, and then we will pass that message into the edit message and edit the message. To do that, we are going to use webhooks. Alright, both will be post methods, and respond when the last node finish, and send all entries. Okay, so what's this going to do is the first webhook will search for messages when your UI calls for it. So your UI would have a field for you to fill in the phone number, and by clicking on post, it will call this webhook, search for the messages, and it would return 10 of the most recent messages back to your web page. And then by listing it in a nice format like this, so let's head on over to my UI. It will list out the last 10 messages when we click on fetch messages, and it will present itself in cards rather. Alright, so in individual cards for me to edit. It is past 15 minutes, so I can't edit the message. So let's try sending myself another new message. This is a new message. Alright, let's send it. Come back here and let's fetch the messages again. Alright, this is a new message, and because it is new, I can edit this now. So let's edit this. This is no longer a new message. Can't type, man. Alright, Yan can code but cannot type. And so it is edited. Let's come back to Chatwoot, and we see this is a new message, edited to become this is no longer a new message. Great. Alright, you can use ChatGPT to come up with the UI, or you can code it yourself. So whatever is the case, I think the scope of this video is just to show you that messages can be edited using n8n. If anyone would like the UI, I would probably post it somewhere, or maybe make a new video on how to use ChatGPT to create the new UI. Alright, hope this helps. Please leave your message in the comment section if you have any questions or anything that worked or didn't work for you. Hope to help you along your journey in getting your messages more comprehensively sent or edited by Chatwoot. I really hope Chatwoot would put in this function so that we don't have to use this workaround. Alright, leave your thoughts in the comment section, and I'll see you soon. Bye.